Sunday where we are going to held. There's this Sunday where people was it I don't know what to call it, where some artists were going to perform and it was free. No, we all went there so that if it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, we invite some artists, we perform. Then after when it's after the performance, that's around 6 or 7 p.m. No one is going to go home. We can allow the artists to go home if they want, but we are all going to remain there. That's on a Sunday, for example. We are going to remain there till Monday morning, and we can have people supplying food stuff and maybe anything that's necessary for there. If it's going to be medication or anything, and we are going to go there until the day Ruta will come down, and that's for a fact. It won't last more than 48 hours before Ruta resigns. And when Ruta resigns, obviously we will have we follow the bigger question is, after Ruta resigns, what's the next thing? We will have, obviously we know that it's either the speaker or the deputy president will talk over for 90 days, so we'll have a general election, because when you tell Ruta to come down, it's not only him, we are all the old regime, the old people in the government. And also, let's not forget that I think at this point we need a referendum. Where do we need all these MPs? Where do we need all these deputy governors? So we have a lot of problems, but we have only one solution right now: to bring first this whole regime down. Let's start afresh. Then we can see. Then after that, I'm sure we are heading first. What I'm sure about is we're heading on the right direction. So whoever is saying you are heading on the wrong direction, please tell us, are we at the right direction right now? People being killed. We have not heard of any officer being arrested. Now the media is being shut down. So many things, so many bad things are happening. So if we don't take this action right now, this only one option that we have, then trust me, we will still see so many abduction happening, people getting lost, some being found dead, even some will never be found. You have the incident of Kware. That's just one example, the Kware. How many dump sites are there? How many? We don't know where other places where bodies are being hidden. We only found one. I'm sure there are so many places. And I saw someone saying there was a meeting held last night in Upper Hill. I'm sure that meeting, whatever they were planning, is not anything good for this country or for the citizen. So we only have one option, and this option is to bring down this regime. It's either by occupying Uhuru Park or whatever the case is, but you have one option. And anyone who is going to say that's not an option, then I guess that's our enemy. Yeah, that's all I can say for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your amazing sentiments. I want to go to the next speaker, but I wanted to reiterate on something that you said, or rather question something you said. You don't even have to reply, but it's a food for thought. At no point, since I've been attending all the demos and covering them all together in equal measure, and there is no day demonstrators ever sat down and planned that, kesho tuko streets, we found ourselves on the streets. Nobody planned that, tomorrow we're going to occupy parliament. And the next day they occupied parliament. It caught the government by surprise. And I think all these demos, to be honest, until we started now specifying the dates, will be on the streets on Monday and Thursdays. All those other demos really caught the government by surprise. And Nairobi led the demos, if I remember, if my memory doesn't fail me. Nairobi led the demos, and all the other cities were like, we need to join them. And for me, what I think is, yes, they've been talking about we need a leader, we need to have a better plan. And let me tell you something about having these plans. Yes, you can have a plan, but either way, in one way or the other, we'll have betrayers, or we'll have people who, and it's normal to have people who leak the plan and all that. But at the end of the day, I think the better plan is to catch the government by surprise. You have to have that element of surprise for you to succeed. Anyway, it was just a comment. That's my thought. It doesn't have to really be at the foreplay, but let's go to the next speaker. Then my next speaker was supposed to be Mombasa. Mombasa, at Eddie Light Years. Good morning. Talk to us. How are you?
Good morning to you. I hope you are doing good.
Can you hear me? Tunakusikia vizuri sana. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to say that first things first. I think Ruto cannot just sit there and expect us to push him out, and he cannot just give it to us on a silver platter. That's one. And everything that is happening now, he's trying to fight back. That's trying to block us from occupying Uhuru Park, trying to gag the media and all the things. I think we need to stay focused and work our way out on how we are going to navigate that. But he's going to fight out. He's going to try to intimidate us. And that's normal. He could not just give us that on a silver platter. So we should be prepared for worse than what we are seeing now. This morning I woke up and I remembered the story of the hummingbird, that is. And I think we are getting closer. The few steps we are taking, they are yielding, and I believe we'll get to where we need to be. I suggest that we need to get Kenyan flags. Anyone going to on the days of demonstration, wale watu wenye wanaenda demonstration, wale watu wenye tunaenda demonstration, kama uko in a position kukuwa na flag and a flag and a white hankies, tutembee nazo. If you are friend, yule mwenye mnakutana naye kama unampatia, so that we move around with the flags, waving them, and most importantly, we need to practice and sing patriotic songs all the way. Intakana tukienda tunaimba patriotic songs. For us, Kenya, we need to liberate Kenya. It's us against them. The government has it's a swamp. Like when we say we are draining the swamp, it's really a swamp. It involves the media. The media actually it's been against us. They've been selling us out. So we should realize that the media is not on our side. The most important thing that I can suggest, and we are all in this, we have media personalities, individuals who are part of us, like Larry Madowo is doing a great job, and we need to ask them. They're our friends, they're our families. Let's talk to them, tell them to help us amplify this individually. From individual, let them help us to amplify this. I will also ask YouTubers, TikTokers, the big wings on X, they need to help amplify this. All of them. Unapata kuna celebrities around, wamenyamaza tu. Ile wakati tulikuwa tunaanza, wali pretend wako na sisi. They all of a sudden went down, and yet we are fighting to bring a conducive environment for each and every one of us to earn, to go to school, to make a living. It will benefit all of us. The government has tried to subdue us into a corner whereby we cannot talk, we cannot express ourselves. And the only thing is we have to break out of that, to break the chains and ensure that the government listens to us. It must listen to us. It's not a request. We put them there. We can blame that on ourselves. Them there, but it's time. We need to push, keep pushing, little steps, step by step. We push, and we'll get there. I'm certain we'll get there. Uhuru Park, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but I strongly believe we are getting there. And this government is going home. The government is going home and will be free. People keep asking, what next? There is no what next. The next thing we should be thinking about is that better future for our children, for our grandchildren, for us. We need to shape this country. This morning, I woke up and I told my wife, I told my children that I'm going to Nairobi. I'm going to Nairobi, but I don't know when I come back. If I come back, or when I come back, Kenya will be good. If I don't come back, still, I would have done something. And I believe me and many others are going to do that. We are going to camp to Nairobi, Uhuru Park, whichever place we'll choose. We go camp and we petition the government. We push, and we'll get there. Tusijaribu ku... These are side shows. Zenye tunarushiwa mawe, people trying to stop us a little on the way, but we still need to believe that what we started was not just a walk in the park. People have died. A lot of people have died. We have a lot of people who are injured, people who will never, ever again have the normal life that they used to have. And they did not do that for nothing. There are people who have been arrested. There are people who are traumatized out there. We need to keep voicing up. We need to stay focused. Let's stay focused. We know what we woke up that day one to do, and our focus must remain like that. Tuendelee hivyo, tushikane sisi wote wa Kenya. Africans wenye wanasema wanaweza tusaidia vipi, there is only one way you can help us. If you are an African, you are here listening to us, there is one way you can help us. March towards the Kenyan embassy. Demonstrate in front of every Kenyan embassy across the world. The world listening to us. Go in front of every Kenyan embassy, demonstrate there, call them out, and they will listen. We do it from home, we do it away from home. All of us, our energy, our resolve, we will bear fruits. One day we will sit down and remember the history that we are making. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day.
Thank you too. And have an amazing day as well. I'm going to Felix Omondi. Felix Omondi, Oyo, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. Mine will be short, mine will be brief. What I wanted to also chip in on when they ask what next, I believe what next is we need to give the president clear instructions of what we want. The first thing we need to do is we need to put in enough pressure to have them constitute IEBC. Once they constitute those IEBC, we need to keep our eyes on the ball. And one of the things that we were supposed to do was recall all these 204 MPs who adamantly voted for that finance bill, even though we were shouting on the streets that bill needs to be dropped, because they're behaving like Ruto voted for them and not the people. So we need to make that message clear to them. We need to put them in a list and go after them one after the other. The second thing that the president did was disbanding or dismissing his CS. But you see, dismissing the CS is not enough. You can dismiss the CS and still reappoint them or reshuffle them. So we also need to be keen and wait for his next cabinet and see if he's going to bring for us back the same people that he had dismissed, which I highly think he will, because he's a prisoner of these people. I've seen some of them have gone back to their constituencies and they are paying people to demonstrate, to have the president collect them back. The third thing will be the PSS appointment. The president has not touched this. And if you look at the appointment of those PSS, you'll see that Kenya is made up of 45 tribes. And those PSS, I think it's 3 or 2 tribes are the majority. So this is also something we need to call the president out for. Personally, I feel that the president is a prisoner of 2 people. The president is a prisoner for those who campaigned for him, those who gave him the money during the 4 years of campaign, and he's also a president to those who made him president. When I say those who made him president, I mean the imperialist West, the likes of Meg Whitman and all that. That's why the president is so concerned with unconstitutional things like deploying our police force to Haiti while deploying the army to his own citizens. So I think we need to be very clear with him. We need to tell him that when they ask us what next is we need an IBC constituted, fully constituted, so we can start recalling back our MPs. And I like the way they've been trying to sell us fear that when he goes, that it leaves a void and that the constitution does not envision the president going. The guy can admit and resign. That's also an option if we keep this pressure up. So I urge everyone, please show up in large numbers at Uhuru Park, carry the Kenyan flag, remain peaceful as always. They will still bring the goons. This has been said over and over. That's been government tactics since the Moi era, to bring in the goons, to cause anarchy, to cause havoc, so that it can be seen that the protest is bad. When they did ban or try to ban the protest yesterday, I saw that article from the police. It shows you that now they're running out of options. We've seen this many times during the opposition demonstrations, where now when they don't have any more option left, they start by saying the protest is illegal. If they are saying that they are going to be goons to infiltrate the protest, let them identify those goons and arrest those goons. But the police should know that they are not mandated to allow or not allow the protest. That's allowed in the Constitution. If they want, let them conduct a referendum and change the Constitution to say the police is the one to authorize for demonstrations or not. Thank you.
Thank you. That last point that you just made is quite important because we've been protesting and just being able to exercise our rights as Kenyan citizens. I mean, we are citizens by birth or by whatever means, but we are citizens, and the Constitution is supposed to protect us. And my main question is, what was the rush to amend the Constitution? What was the rush to amend bits of the finance bill, the whatever that was, because if we've been protesting all along, and now the protests are being named as illegal, what makes them illegal? Have we killed anyone? No, they've killed us. Who planted those goons? Is it us? It's them. So for us, they see like we are breaking the rules, but when it comes to them, that is where they draw the line. So I think we really, really need to have a government that takes accountability, because I feel our government has not been taking accountability ever, from the president to the least person in that parliament. They've not been taking accountability, be it allocation of resources, be it, then they're just not doing their job, and we really need to put them to task. And that is what we are doing right now with our demonstrations. And someone coming to tell us that, yes, you've been doing it, but it's now illegal. Who made it illegal? Those are the questions we need to start asking. And we will not relent. Like we've always said on Spaces, we will not relent. We will not back down. The idea was Ruto must go. The idea was reject the finance bill. And right now, they're trying to, there are rumors of them bringing. I really wish we get to a point where we have to dissolve that whole parliament. And there's there's a bite. Means that the whole regime is rendered, useless. So they need to go home. And what's happening? Why isn't he going home? Why isn't he, taking account of his word? So I think we really have a mean government. We really have a self-centered government. We really have self-centered politicians who we just need to clean that rot completely. We need to cut out that leg that is going to infect the whole body, that injured leg that is it's gonna virus, and we need to just get rid of it completely. If it's gonna cost the whole body, we need to get rid of it. I'm gonna go to Honorable Timothy, then Aziza. We haven't had any lady's voice since for some time now, so let's hear from Honorable Timothy Turunga, then Aziza, then we'll go to Jeff Juma, then Jules, Better Kenya, then Reject Finance Bill 2024, and that is Mogo Owira. That's our last speaker. Then I'll bring in a new cohort of speakers. Honorable Timothy, good morning. How are you doing?
Okay, good morning. Good morning. I hope you can hear me. Am I audible?
100%. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, listeners. So, first and foremost, I want to thank you for the opportunity. And also talk about my disappointments, because now all I can see is Baba Man is sanitizing Ruto. There's no way you can tell me that yesterday goons can go to the Dinga Foundation Center without the security being there. So it's something which he knew, and that's why he was not there. That's why Sifuna was not there. And they gave a reason of why they left, sorry. So he has realized that the AU, he won't get the AU position because of this candidate from Tanzania, the foreign minister from Tanzania, who likely is going to be forwarded as a East African Commission candidate for the AUC. So what does he do? Baba is here in, and that's why you could hear people like Nuru Okanga vowing that they will deal with the Gen Zs who will go to protest. What does that tell you? He has now given his goons a go-ahead. They should try and sanitize Ruto and end this protest. That is so wrong. That should never happen. What does that tell you? When the people are coming together, the political class always regroup to protect the interests. That's what Baba is doing now. And if we are serious about this revolution, even him, we should not leave him on board. He should go. We should drain this one. We should never let this thing happen. And let me tell you, the list that you saw yesterday being released, I don't know the percentage of the CSS that people want them to come back. If it's not the CS who did that, it's the NIS. Because the NIS just want to collect intelligence. How are the people gauging? How are the people reacting upon the list or it being exposed to the allegedly leaked percentages, so that they can see how the people will react. And then if the reaction will be negative, they'll re-strategize. If it will be positive, they'll go ahead, reappoint them. You see? But then according to the constitution, if you dismiss and you dissolve that cabinet, they're not supposed actually to come back. That's unconstitutional. If you go deep down, that's unconstitutional. Although that's something which can be challenged in court and people can win, because I know definitely there's some ministries they'll try to bring people back, such as the Ministry of Defense. We definitely know why they opened our borders, mostly bordering Somalia. These people have a strategy of rigging the election in 2027. And if you continue giving them this opportunity, it will be so hard for us. If this person survives this revolution, 2027, you should forget about it. So you must ensure he goes home now. We shouldn't wait for any other time. This person should go home. Ruto must go. If you continue being petty, we give him time, we will be shocked come 2027. Baba might not be in the election also, but then this person will come back. He may support even the same Ruto. It's easier for him to work with Ruto than working with someone like Uhuru. They've been together for long. They open the borders. People from Somalia will be in Kenya. They will take part in the election. So tell me, if they bring even just 2 million, if the difference was 200,000 and they rigged, what they add about 2 million, and then they suppress the voter turnout, and then they ensure that people don't get ID cards, because that's what has been happening currently in Kenya. Like for the past 9 months, people have not been issued with the IDs. So that, what does that tell you? They are laying an elaborate strategy because they know the Gen Zs are against them. Mind you, all the people in high school will be eligible to vote come 2027. So they know if these people are not against us, what should we do? We should ensure they don't get the IDs, or they don't vote coming the next election. You see, and then, or whether they'll take they'll take votes, but then they'll ensure that those votes, for example, you take your vote in, let's say, for example, Nairobi, you realize, you're supposed to vote in Mombasa. It happened in the last election. Some of the people, for example, someone from, I know more than 10 people, they're supposed to vote in Lamu, but then all of a sudden, on the voting day, they're supposed to vote in Kiambu. These people have never lived in Kiambu. What are you telling them? You see? So we must be so serious about this revolution. And as I can see, people are starting to give up. We shouldn't relent. Because the moment you see, these are the last kicks of a dying horse. They're realizing that even the international communities, they're starting to abandon him. So, guys, we are almost there. Let us keep pushing. Let us go to that Uhuru Park. Let us occupy this CBD. It will just take us 3 good days, and then you'll enjoy the results. Because trust me, if this person will survive this, we will really suffer. So that's all I am saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to the next speaker. Jeff Juma, how are you? Jeff Juma, are you there? Okay, let's go to Jules. Good morning, Jules. Jules NSI. Okay. Reject finance bill. That's Mogo Owira. How are you?
Good morning.
Talk to us.
I think I'm audible enough. First of all, let me thank God for the few of us who still continue with this journey. Secondly, let me thank you, Coach Sonko. You've been steadfast in making this thing happen. You've seen a lot of people have gone underground, watu wamepotea. Those who used to host spaces, you wameogopa. People are no longer holding spaces the way we used to do it before. But that one aside, I want to tell you that the political class are really trying hard to reunite. It's only that we've been fighting them so that where to start collecting the stone from is so hard. But as you can see today, from yesterday, there is that political gallery which is being formed. Some are with it, some are opposing it. That's why you saw some fracas at the Jaramogi thing. I want to tell you that as much as Baba might be not in need of sanitizing Ruto, but there are always some beings around Baba who are always yearning for those opportunities that you people made. Tusemene tu ukweli. You people made some opportunities for others to do what? To come and take. The opportunities are the CSS. Now, people from the other rift of the government or from the opposition side want to join the government so that they can get their chance also to eat. And if you look at those chunks of people who want to do those things, there are also some people who are at some point had an issue with the EACC, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. And there are people who squandered our funds. And now, because they always think that they are with us, the opposition side, this is their time now to get into the government thinking that they're clean, as white as snow. I want to tell you, our countrymen or our youth, the fight is not over. Why am I saying the fight is not over? I think if you look at our parliament is running under outside the constraint of constitution, and nobody's talking about this. I want to give you a good way, a very good leeway why this parliament should not even be in function. Number one, when we went for 2022 general election, Azimio lost the presidential seat. UDA won. When the UDA won, they swindled most of the MPs from the Azimio side to UDA side. But if you go to the laws binding the political parties, it does not give that vacuum for an MP to cross over within 2 or 3 months after election. Actually, it's always after 3 years is when an MP or a senator can cross over. But ours were being bought like cabbages. So you see, they crossed the seat to the other side, making the UDA government to sit on the fake majority. Actually, they should be at the minority side of the parliament. Number two, how can you elect somebody who is a party chairman or a leader of a given party to be a speaker of National Assembly? Those where this National Assembly has been failing us because everybody was voted to win the side of the government. So they are also working outside the constraint of the law. And you know, our president is somebody who fear working with the law. And that's why even reconstitution of IBC, as much as you saw many people in the political gallery claiming that they fought for it and now it's going to take its course. Who told you that even ODM want to send away those who crossed over? Who told you that ODM want to do the same? No, they won't do that. It's only to play with your mind, play with the masses. But look at the gallery. How many are we? How many are on those leadership positions? That's a very good question. So, what do we want as Kenyans now? Can we have one place, then we shoot our guns at that point? Can we recall these MPs? Can these MPs come back? Can these MPs who voted yes, who made our blood to shed, the blood of Denzel, the blood of Rex Masai, and so many other Kenyans who were killed at the parliament? You know, we don't know the actual number of people who were killed at the parliament. We don't know because kuna wengine bado wamepotea hadi saa hii, we could find them. You see this? So we don't know, we are in fear. Kuna mzazi mwingine bado anatafuta mtoto wake since 25th of June. Up to date, we are almost at date 18th. It's almost a month. You've not seen your kid. So let's not see these bloods going without major changes in the government. The best way to bring Ruto is always to shout, Ruto must go. As you shout, Ruto must go, tell them that you need that IBC as early as tomorrow. The moment that IBC is reconstituted, take an urge. Take the first step. If you say that we go per constituency, we start with constituency number 1. Who voted yes? Who made this blood to be shed like this? Recall them, elect a new MP. If you elect a new MP, and I know very well, now the ground is very hostile, and people will elect like the voters will elect people that you cannot not even manipulate with even 100 million, because they'll fear what they saw kwa ground. And when they go there, as much as we are shouting, Ruto must go, we can also thwart him through the parliament way. Umetoa wale wengine, umeleta wengine wenye watawasikia. They go to the parliament, they say this and this should be done in this and this, and if the president goes out the constraint of the constitution, something that he has been doing all along. You know, Mr. Ruto took an oath to always fight and protect the constitution of the land. But when things are taken, when things are
What's not happening? Fix your mic, then you can come back and speak to us. Your mic is terrible. Let's get to the next speaker, please. Better Kenya.
Hi, good morning, guys. Thank you so much, KOT, for this space. Umekuwa very consistent. Jana, usiku, umeturaukia. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nyakundi and Ayo, for co-hosting. He needs some help. Ashachoka. So, kuna nani ameongea, the Duke, akasema that we shouldn't, ruin, yani haribu Kenya. People shouldn't die. We shouldn't give them the opportunity to kill us. But I feel like for any revolution to happen, people must die, properties must be damaged, because hatuendi kwa streets, hatuendi kuprotest because our government is okay. Tunaenda kuprotest because the government is not okay. The government will never admit that they are not treating us well. So kutakuwa na hiyo mvutano. And in that mvutano, things are going to be ruined, properties will be damaged, lives will be lost. What we can do when tuta survive is to not let those lives lost to be lost for the sake of it. It should be for a better Kenya, for better governance, and for a better system. So, tunaweza shindwa ku-occupy JKIA for the obvious reasons. People don't want to do that. How about we go camp in Uhuru Park, and then very early in the morning at 3, 4-ish, sijui tunaweza toa wapi magari. I feel like if we closed State House Road, Parliament Road, Express Highway, the way to JKIA, we make the whole of Nairobi stop for a whole maybe 24 hours. Hakuna mtu anaenda airport, hakuna mtu anatoka airport, hakuna mtu anaingia parliament, hakuna mtu anatoka parliament, hakuna mtu anatumia the expressway, juu tunajua hiyo ni yao, walitengeneza for their own sake. We will have stopped something that affects the government. Juu kuongea ukweli, hatuna makazi. Hatuna kazi. That's why we can afford kwenda back to back protests. Sababu we don't have work. And even those that wanafanya kazi bado pia wanafinywa. The taxes are so high. Sijui unalipia license, unalipia billboard, unalipia wafanyikazi, ukiwalipa hata pesa iwatoshi. Kanjo ndio wao wamekusumbua, wanasumbua watu kwa barabara, wanasumbua watu kwa maduka, wanatusumbua kila mahali. So in as much as we don't want to fight fire with fire, I feel like we should find a strategy that affects them. Naona tukioccupy mabarabara, tufunge hizo mabarabara kabisa, tuseme hakuna movement ina happen, we might be hard. Juu kwenda tu kukaa Uhuru Park hivyo, knowing Ruto how we know him, he won't care much. Tumekuwa CBD a lot. No change have happened. Bado ana make the things that we were stopping him from doing, anazifanya tu, anapitisha tu, anaendelea tu. He didn't fire these CSs because of us. It's a game that he's playing. Hakuna vile utafukuza marafiki wako kazi. They put him there. Na hakuna vile walienda na wakananyamaza for no reason. They are strategizing. They are planning things. They are playing their cards. They know whatever it is that they are doing, and they want to lose anything. Sisi ndo tutaendelea ku lose. We will continue not having functioning systems in the hospitals. Sai hakuna NHIF. Hiyo shift yenye walikuwa wanataka kupitisha haikupitishwa, but the NHIF is not effective. Unaenda kwa hospitali, you have to pay cash to be even talked to. Hiyo ni ukweli. Huku Nakuru ukienda kwa hosi unaambiwa kwanza ulipe 500 kabla hata ufanyiwe anything. Juu wanajua NHIF won't cover that. So sisi we are losing, we've lost so much, we keep on losing. I just want us not to stop. We keep pressing, we keep fighting for what is right. For now we can do the peaceful protesting, the stopping the country on a peaceful part. If it doesn't work, maybe in the future we will feel the pressure to also start breaking some laws, because hawa watu wana run Kenya vile wanaweza run kwao. Wakiamka leo waseme hakuna kuona TV huku, wanasema leo hakuna protesting without a leader. Wanatoa hiyo kanuni. Hawa polisi nao hata sijui kwa nini hawatu support bwana. Wangetu support tungekuwa mbele sana. Tungekuwa tumemake so many advances. But they're working with the government, of which the government is fucking them up. Have already fucked them up. Unaenda unatuua sisi, tunajaribu kupigania haki yako. It doesn't make sense, but I hope, guys, we will win. I hope the gods will be with us today as we go out there. I believe that the power of the people is always stronger than the people in power. So tutashinda hii kitu. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but if we keep being consistent, at some point we will win, and we can't wait for that day to happen. God be with us today. May they protect us. May they give us the right climate. Juu kama watu tutalala Uhuru Park with the cold, some of us might be affected. Maybe just the weather, the climate, and the gods favor us today. You guys go have an amazing day today as we prepare for tonight. Asante.
Asante sana. Reject finance bill. It's your turn to speak.
Your team. Thank you, Dean. I think Ngoma is
Cheki. Kuna nako na mic mbaya hivyo. Reject finance bill. Please speak.
I think kuna mtu anafungua mic yake hapo. That's what the issue is. I think I'm at a very good place, better place. I think
Ni Papa Nduche ndako na mic mbaya. Go ahead. Mogo, are you there? Because I can't hear anything from you.
Yes. Now I think you can get me. But ulikuwa umeunmute. Haya. Now, this is what I was saying. Let me wrap it very fast. The political gallery is trying to come back to the system. They want to sanitize Mr. Root again and make him as holy as never before. What we have as Kenyans now, we still need to push hard. The pushing needs to go that hard, because even Egypt did this. I have heard people talking about that if we are going to do this, we are going to be anarchist. And, it's better to be an anarchist, or it's better that we don't have a country, but we have a country where few individuals want to benefit and make themselves billionaires. It's very sad that as at now, most of the people cannot even get a better education because of the high fees. It's very sad when our poverty ratio has rose to around 38 to 40%, away from 36 where it's normally rented. It means that even the GDP does not help us. So it means that our coffers are only to benefit the few. The few individuals who can hang out at the power are the one who have that opportunity. So when these people tell us that if we go this much as Gen Zs, then we are going to cause anarchists. We are going to take Ruto home. Then this country will be run like Namibia, like Egypt, and other short stories. No, let it be. Watu wamesoma, everybody needs a job, everybody needs a good life. But if that one will close the doors of corruption, the doors of injustices, the doors where people don't want to go by the rule of law, the laws that runs the land, then let it be. You see, I know everything. It's the way they say this government is God given. Even if anarchists come and take the country, still it's God given. We'll get out of there. It will not kill us. We'll not be there for good. But we will not be in a government or in the governments of the day where the public funds are only to benefit few stomachs. Ndi was the other day, Ndi was here. The other day he was just a small guy who didn't have even a body. Today tumbo yake inazabeba hata crate moja. Why? They got a very peaceful way of stealing our funds. And the other day we told them, we want to know our public debt. Ni pesa ngapi? Nobody is bringing this one to the limelight. And now somebody tells you that if you try this, if Ruto goes, Gachagua will take. Who told you that you want even Gachagua? Better the military take over. We've seen the West African, 3 countries, they are being run by generals. I didn't see they are dying because the generals are running it. It's better than a few political gallery coming, filling it, taking money, and then they'll come to the masses that what will Miambili help you with? Apart from that, Mr. Ruto should not hide on the CS thing. He needs a lot of things to do now. Alisema, kazi kwa vijana nitaleta. How much will he pay us? When Uhuru was having this kazi kwa vijana, he used to go and campaign akasema bana, mnatoa hizo nini sinyu mnaenda kwa takataka mnafieka at 500. That thing should be at 1,000. Now he has brought back the kazi kwa vijana. Let him put that thing at 1,000 shillings so that those who cannot have other part of employment can go back and have 1,000 per day. And should not be that one of 2 weeks after 2 weeks. No, we want it as a full month. So that people can also have that money which they are paying as tax back to their hands. Not somebody milking you, but you don't have anything to milk at. See this. Another thing, this thing of NHIF. Ruto was not supposed to run very fast to shift. Why is he running to that one? The only thing he had to do, look at the loopholes where this NHIF can be well strategized that can reach every Kenyan, not running from one point to another. The other day they brought Uduma card. I took my Uduma card. After a few months, Uduma card became illegal. After that, now they're telling that you have an ID. After 1 year, you renew an ID. Kwani ID pia ni driving license? Ama if I have my ID, then it expires. Does it mean that I'm not a Kenyan? So these are the injustices that we must fight. Another one, police brutality started in 1997. Kome went. We had Boynet who used to butcher people during the 2013 and 2017, during 2017 anti-government trials. We want these people to be brought on book. Those who've been killed, those who've been under police brutality, be paid. They be compensated, because it is very sad when you lose somebody. Leave alone losing. Some people are even living with the gun cartridges, the bullet cartridges is in their body, and they have never got the mercy of the government, of which did the same. The other thing I saw yesterday that Mr. I don't know the name, Kanja, the new IG. Why is Kanja saying that protests are illegal? Don't we have a constitution giving us a mandate to peacefully picket and demonstrate? Is Nairobi CBD exceptional of holding demonstration? And if they know goons have been infiltrating these mandamanos, what are they taking? What are they, as who should be providing security to us? What are they doing? The other day they were seeing people in Kakamega, people in Kericho, and some part of Nairobi, wanabeba rungu, na watu wanaenda mandamano. Who are the goons? Why are they allowing other people to carry same tools they are using to maim us? Huh? Are those not criminals? Why do you allow some people to carry rungus where you are a police officer? Huh? Who gave them the training to carry those rungus? Are they county government employees? Those kanjos, are they the one? Because I think apart from watchman, police officers, and a kanjo, there's no any other civilian who should be carrying a rungu when people are going to demonstration. That's causing violence. And war, when war, you start a war is a war. Nobody will wait for him to be killed by somebody who carries a rungu. So the government is also trying to bring a civilian war where a person like a Mwananchi fights his own Mwananchi as they watch. Something that we've resisted. Now they see the heat is too much. Now they're telling you that demonstrations are unlawful. Which are unlawful? Kama ziko unlawful and they know there are these people inside here, they should do away with him. Another thing I want to finish with the likes of this guy called Gaucho and Moshwa now another. No, we need to be realistic. These are the same people who used to tell you from every ghetto that Ruto must go. Today, we also love Raila. I personally, I voted for him. But now the cause is going to another area. Baba didn't start this thing. Why is Gaucho always there in the social media telling us, oh, somebody's paying us, somebody's bringing this money to go where, somebody's financing the GNZs? I want to tell this guy, if you have a chance with Gaucho, tell him that we used to go to those rallies with him. We saw how Baba used to give him money. We've seen him how he walks behind those politicians and anawaomba pesa. Tunajua, we always see him. Everywhere he goes, ye kazi yake ni kuomba wanasiasa pesa. And that's the life you want to live. No, for us, we don't want to live such life. A life where you must always go down on your knees to naomba mwanasiasa pesa. We don't want to go that direction. If Gaucho thinks that that's what we want to do, we are not going to do that. For us, we are revolutionaries. We must change this country. Number one, free education, free healthcare. Number three is better security agencies. Hata mapolisi wanaumia, and they're still being used to fight the state. To fight, the state is using them to fight the Mwananchi. Somebody, I personally, I think I'm employing some police officers. I'm their employees because I pay tax. They are being paid by my tax. Actually, they need a pay rise. They should not be living in such houses where they hold guns which are used to protect this country. Where are we going as a country? So let's not wait political gallery to close this road for us. Let's fight to the end. I saw this thing of it's called Shakiri Square in Egypt. People sat on the roads. Watu walisema tu, we are not going to go back to our houses. We want to sit down in these major towns. If we can just go there, you sit down. Nyinyi mkae tu. If you sit down, we'll ask the government who is now the good. Najua watatupa tear gas, and when you sleep down on the ground, hao ndio wataonekana watu wambaya. Because you've sat down, you're not even fighting anybody. You are just holding your flag while you are sitting down and just making noise and singing. And that's how the president, they overthrew the government of that Egyptian president. They just sat on the road. Hakuna kupigana na mtu. Iwe umekaa tu. If you know, because we can't fight them. Now we sit down and we see who will they fight. You see this? So, Ruto must go is still the song. Those PSS which are majorly challenges must also come out of those systems. This thing of you applying for things and then you are asked about your tribe should be a nonsense thing. We all pay what's called tax. And lastly, we need free education. The new funding model is killing a lot of youths who want to go to universities and colleges. This one must be brought down. And I want to tell all the comrades who are here that as we are going to start the next semester, we are not going to register for any campus until we have a new funding model that each and every common mwananchi can get an opportunity to have a freedom to get to school. Because hii mtu anakufungia di freedom ya kuenda kwa class. A fee of 300,000, how will you pay? Surely. Unatoka huko kwa village, you don't even have that land that can pay up to a tune of 1.5 million. So where are we going as a country? Free education must be first priority for comrades. And comrades, when you are going back to school, actually we should not be even going back to school. We will boycott those classes until we have and the former school funding model brought back and the fee are reduced to a point where we can always be happy as comrades. That's my submission. And thank you for your time, Mr. Court, Cyprian, and the rest. And Cyprian, you're still the one who's still remaining there with a lot of followers. Kimunzi, I saw Kimunzi left and others. So keep pushing, keep pushing. Na tukue tu the way we are inorganic. Nobody is going to know who is who. And I see the fight will continue till Zakayo calm down. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Asante sana, Mogo Owira. I want to go to Jeff Juma. If you're not here, please, you don't have to come up here and you're not speaking. Jeff Juma, are you there? Jeff Juma? Okay. See you later. Let's go to Davis. After Davis, we have Vazagood. You don't have to raise your hand up. I'll just give you the mics according to how you guys came in. Davis, go ahead, please.
Thanks, Ayo. Hope I'm audible, yeah?
100%.
All right. Thank you, Ayo, and the host for this space. First, I'd like to start by sending my condolences to the people who've lost lives and the families wherever they are. Be assured that we are praying with you. We're keeping you in our prayers, and we will assist in our ways possible, even to call for justice for them. I would also like to send my sympathies to those in hospitals, the paralyzed, the crippled, those with wounds, gun wounds, short wounds. We're keeping you in our prayers, and we are hoping that this was not all for granted through the course that we do. I'll go straight to what I want to say. I think it's very clear right now that there's nothing new that is coming out of
Davis, I think we lost you. I think we lost Davis. KOT, can you hear Davis?
No.
Yeah, I think we lost Davis. Davis, fix your mic. Probably you can come back later. Vaza, before you go, Biril was here before you. Sorry, I skipped you, Biril. Please speak to us, Biril, then we go to Vaza. Biril?
Morning, Jack. Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much for hosting this space. Thank you, QT, and every listener. Guys, if somebody is coming with wants to choke the media, and then now he's using the tools, and there's nothing in the Constitution. I'm not a lawyer, but there's nothing in the Constitution that bars us from picketing. So that letter from the police, it's not really valid because we have a right to picket. So if we cannot occupy the Uhuru Park, how many parks do we have in Nairobi? And if we are trickling in, then we are really exposing ourselves. If we agree that we are all linking up at 10, we agree that we're all linking up at 11, let's go as a group. Another thing, what is the businesses of these politicians? Because now we have to go the boycotting way also. They're not going to sit there, they're trying to choke our voices because you're speaking the reality, and then you're just going to sit back. What is the businesses that you're going to boycott? What is the other park that you can have in Nairobi? What are the major roads that you can go and stand there and you just sit on the road? Because what you want is change. What you want is to be listened to. What are these PSs still doing over there? You cannot come and choke all of us. You're killing us, you're choking us. You want now to voice out the media. Even if they voice out the media, we received a lot of things that the media didn't even show us the other day from other towns. So we have to find another way of communicating. And you cannot silence all of us. When you're silencing people, it means what we are saying is the truth, and you cannot deal with the truth. Why can't you deal with the truth and correct it? We only need good measures that come around us. I am still here.
Okay. pertinent questions. I have a problem with the government, or rather silencing the media. We saw the other day there's a journalist who was shot. I mean, why would you shoot a journalist? They're just trying to broadcast and inform and educate the public. Why would you shoot a journalist? And I saw MCSK giving a presser, and Zubeida was also questioning, sending those questions. Why is the police shooting journalists? Before we know it, they'll be kidnapping journalists. So where are we headed as a country? Anyway, Beryl, do you want to answer before I go to the next speaker?
Yeah, sorry. Because the Githaigo was not a mistaken identity. If you saw what Githaigo posted on the newspaper, that is why Githaigo was being arrested. And then how do you arrest somebody in a police station? So how many police bodies do we have? What are you communicating to us? Because it's like we have different kind of police bodies. So where are you safe? Because when you see people trailing behind you, you need to go to the nearest police station. Then these people are supposed to be identified. Then you're being arrested inside that police station and you're not being charged inside that police station. That is hooliganism.
Quite unfortunate. Vasagood?
Yo, wase, mnanisikia?
Yeah.
Okay, so wase, mi kenye nilikuwa nataka kusema. Anyway, first of all, thank you for the platform KOT. Rada ni safi. But sawa wase, mi kenye nilikuwa nataka kuwashow, like the ship has already started sailing. So, at the end of the day, hapa tuko X, nyi wase mnabonga hapa ni wase wa X, but kuna mamtaani, saa mtaani, wase watambui ma X, wase wako ma Facebook, ma TikTok, na waneza dai kuparticipate kwa hizo maandamano. I hope kama mnajua majenzi ni wase unruly, wase mamauru. Si ndo wale wase tulikuwa tunasumbuana na maprinsi high school, tunafukuzwa juu ya mabangi, masuspension, tukiwa high school, tumeshikwa na makarao kutoka after form 4. Tunanipata, so hatufai ku back down. So mi noma yangu inakujia hapa wase. Like tunafaa kukua wajanja, tujue venye, okay mamtaa. For example, place ka Kitengela, tuliona Kitengela walikuwa wengi, kwa barabara walileta zogo. So kuna mamtaka Kitengela, kuna Rungai, mamta ni mingi, kuna Kangemi. Tunafaa kujua venye numbers, tutapata numbers tao, kaile day ya parliament. Tutapata numbers aje. Mina suggest kuwe na wase anonymous, kuna kuanga na mamat mingi sana, na hizo mamat wanakuanga na maofisi kwa almost every mamta. Kani Latema Sako, kani Sako gani, kani Super Metro. Unanisikia?
Tunakusikia, endelea.
Kani Super Metro, kani gani, tunafaa kujua venye tutapata wase anonymous. Wase mse aende kwa hizo ofisi, alipe mat tuseme hata kutoka from 10 to 1 PM. Mat ukiingia ni free hadi tao. Ukiingia hiyo mat wase wana mobilize, wase ka venye Thika kuna konganizo mashule, hizo ma-KU, ma-JKUAT. Hizi mamtaa zingine kuna kongana makole, manini. Wase wanaingia mat, design yenye mse aneze donda, mnaambia donda ni aje, usiitishe wase fair. Mse akiingia mat kwanzia 10 hadi 1 kuna mse ashalipa. Kani hizo masako mtu ashalipia hiyo gari. Alafu kurudi ni kutoka 6 hadi 8, bado mat ishalipiwa kurudi. So from 2 hadi 5 wase tushakuwa wengi tao, tusha create hizo ma video hizo za TikTok, hizo manini tusha trend within hizo 3 hours. You already tutakuwa na numbers. Jua unaweza afford kuingia tao. Kuna ule mwenye haezi afford. Jika unanipata, unaweza afford kubuy snacks, kuna ule mwenyezi afford. Venye nimewashow, hapa ni X. Like kuna wase unruly huku mamtaani, wengi sana. Ni ile tu support tu ndio mse ana. And then number 2 ni our parents wase. Mimi manze, mi tunashidanga tu, tumekosana tu na maparo tu juu ya hii movement. Unajua hao ni wasee wenye hawezi unlearn. Nika okay, mi usema huu msee Ruto ni mseezi unlearn. Kuna konga na kulearn na ku-unlearn. Ku-unlearn ni yes, umesoma hiyo era ya Moi, umechop kampo maybe ma 2000s ama ma 1990s, but saizi niga manze tuko 2024. Like maisha imebadilika manze, like kila kitu yenye umesoma sahau, anza kujifunza tena upya. Sikiza ma Gen Z ndo tunajua manze. Hata sisi Gen Z in future tutaanza kusikia ma Gen Alpha, because Gen Alpha wakikamio time yao kani 2050, lazima tu unlearn kila kitu yetu tulijifunza. Jua watakuja na vibe yao different, kama venye sisi tumekuja na vibe yetu different. Anyway, number 3 ilikuwa hiyo story ya kunini, hiyo story ya parliament. Like wase, mimi hiyo day manze, mimi nilikuwa kwa road manze. Kila msee pale alikuwa na agenda moja, agenda ya kurudi state house. But sasa ile ya state house ikabako. Anyway, tuko sahi wase, sahi ni aje, sahi ni venye tutamobilize wase, venye nimewashow tutafute ma solutions za kuget wase CBD. Tusionze kuongea hapo mambo za ma constitution, mambo sijui za manini sijui ati ile time ilikuwa aje. Like tuko sahi ni aje, story ni wase CBD. Wao sisi tutawapata aje, tutafute ma solutions. Mimi nimekuja na solution moja, mwingine to remain anonymous. Si ni wase wajanja, hizo ma tactics tunaweza ku remain anonymous. Hii tume-remain anonymous miaka mob sana. Ni venye saizi manze itabidi tumejibonga. Juu msee mimi sioni akitoka, sioni akishuka. Aisee, sioni akishuka. Itabidi tumespend pia sisi kabaridi, spend maridi kabaridi. Juu obvious hapa najua kuna wasi wako na madoo. Spendini kabaridi, jueni venye mavijana watatoka mamtaa wafike tao. From hiyo time to hiyo time nimewashow ma video, watu wa record zitrend, the next day turudi the same way. Sisi wasi hatuna wera, hatunanga mboka. We can do this day in day out. Tunashindanga tu kwa gaming zones na kwa mabaa. Anyway, mimi nishamaliza.
Asante sana Vaza. Nataka ujue tumekuwa tukitumia na fair hapa siku za protest. Tumekuwa tukibai wase maji kwa streets, tukiwa na KOT hapa, na hizi do ni public funds. Wase wanakuja kwa space, we get money, we do that and we are accountable to it. Tumekuwa tukitumia wase fair. Naweza kuonyesha M-Pesa messages, people have been coming to my DM and I've been telling people, kama una fair DM me na make sure umetokea, na usipotokea tutajua kutokea, and I always keep track wasa umetokea. So kama ni kutumia na fair, tumetumia na fair and it's been successful so far. Sawa, so let's just keep up the spirit.
Sikia mzee. So hiyo venye unasema hiyo story ya Ferrari, like okay, unajua kuna mamtani mingi. Unajua umetoka mtaa fulani. Okay, me personally, mimi ni born and raised Nairobi, Kanairo. So unanipata, mimi ni msee wa Nairobi, hadi unasikia accent yangu manzi. Mimi si msee. Okay, mimi ni msee najua tao in and out. Ikuwe ni Dagoretti constituency all the way mpaka Emba. So kuna wase hawajakuwa kiget. Sijui unanipata, machuo ni mingi. Si hata hizo makeyu, kuna hizi makole. Sijui unanipata.
Nakupata.
So tuta access aje. Na si mi solo, juu mimi niko X. Kuna wase kama 800 ama 200 hawako X. So unanipata, na ni mama Uhuru wa mtaa.
Na kuget.
Na hao ndo tunataka. Hii kitu tusipokuwa mama Uhuru ka huo msee atashuka. Lazima pia sisi tumuonyeshe mama Uhuru, juu tumekuwa mama Uhuru tangu kitambo sana. Ni venye sisi si wase wa era ya Moi. Era ya Moi ilishapitwa na wakati.
Asante sana. So I think hii issue si ati ashuke, tunamshusha. Tukisema ashuke ni kama tunapili naye
Lazima mti
ashuke,
ikatike
so
bro.
itabidi tumemshusha.
Hiyo mti lazima ikatike, alafu platform ni ya Gen Z msee. Gen Z ndo kusema, Gen Z ndio sisi bro. Si unanipata?
Na kuget.
Gen Z ndio sisi ndo tutakuja na hizo matactics. Unanipata? Si ndo tuko na hiyo ujanja. Si wase tumefanya hadi mamode wachujwe, hadi Prince afukuzwe shule juu ya kumgeuzia story. Si ndo wale wajanja wase. Tusilegee.
Sawa. Wacha tusikize from Ashiv. Ashiv, talk to us. Good morning. Wazi. Ashiv.
Yes. Mi niko na issue moja kwanza. Venye msa amesema like venye wasa wanaweza fikatao. Hiyo ni poa. And then venye amesema ni right, like mobilization pale grao iko chafu. Kuna wase hata hawana simu, like msana smartphone. Number 2, kuna wase hawana data. Si hata smartphone peke yake, kuna msana data. So like sijui kama mobilization kwa grao inaweza kuaje. Alafu kuna msa amekuwa vocal sana. Nimejaribu kumtafuta but simuoni. Anaitwa Six Sounders. Kama msa anaweza like update. Kama msa ako ama yuko. Anakuanga na t-shirt nyingine kwa platform. Anakuanga na profile na t-shirt ya Arsenal. So kama msa anaweza tu update.
Najua 6.
Ako ama yuko.
6 yuko.
Yuko. Okay.
Tuliongea jana 6 yuko.
Okay. Hiyo ni poa. So like tutokee twende Uhuru Park tukutane pale.
Asante sana. So let's go to the next speaker. Nataka nimesikia tu sauti ya mama Chali hapa Mandume, but anyway I want to go with venye mlingia. Excited Kenyan. Ukoaje?
Hello, unaweza nisikia?
Nakusikia vizuri lakini mic yako
inakata.
Ongea. Talk to us. Kwa kelele sana mzae.
Okay, sawa. Niko hapo hivi nimetulia place na strategies vitu 2-3 but anyways, sijui kasa hii niko better ayo.
Tutavumilia tu but nakupatia dakika 2.
The whole essence ya sisi ku come out is because we know what is wrong, we know what is right. We are not kids. We get to absolutely know what is right and what is wrong. We are not being schooled on what is right. We will never be schooled on what is wrong. We've been schooled by our parents to be able to know, to define between right and to define what is wrong. Nobody can teach us what is right and yet we are learned. We are the generation wenye walitoka from your time ya ubako to come through, and now we are more informed, unlike the previous generations before the 2002. So we come out fresh. We know the intellectual systems vile huwa zinaoperate. So we are not about guessing what we are about to do, or we are doing just sheer lack kind of participation. No, we know where the shoe is aching. Na ati ni kitu tunabahatisha. When you talk about health is one of the fundamental rights that we were taught at school, that you have a right to a health. So when someone tries to sabotage the system of health, we know he's infringing the very right that enshrines fundamental rights. When you talk about security, when the apparatus for protecting the Kenyans is being messed around, that is something that needs to be checked on, because that is one of the systems that we use to make sure that there is protection for life. That's one of the points of safeguarding life. So when someone gets to infringe the apparatus that's supposed to watch over the Kenyan citizen, we have a problem with them because they are unconstitutional, let alone banning the demonstrations. Banning the demonstration, it is a tip of an iceberg. It's a tip of an iceberg. But you get to ask yourself, where do you get the guts to try and limit the constitution from its full potential functionality? We need to have a proper understanding, a proper system that is operating. When we say about proper system that operates, we mean a friend of mine sometimes back went to Dubai, and he got to witness what he's never witnessed in Kenya. He gets to witness right the moment they entered into the UAE city, and they saw how the systems are functional. They saw the roads. They saw the systems, the immigration systems, how they are functional. Here in Kenya, the immigration system, you have to put up a battle. You have to brave up yourself. When you get to apply a passport, it takes time. Why? Because the system has been malfunctioned. When you talk about this, the right for freedom, it is not just within demonstration confines. No, when you talk about freedom, it is also about traveling. So the rights don't just confine when one aspect of a right is infringed on. Then we are missing a lot of things. When you talk about right for freedom, now we have the right for freedom is also in effect one affecting the businesses in Kenya. Investors are coming and then they find that we have compromised the right for freedom. Now investors, they come into the nation, they find the environment is not conducive at all. They get to ask yourself, I know of a story that is about that a person wanted to set up a factory. Then they were told you have to pay more than actually you're investing in terms of taxes. Then you ask yourself as a businessman, am I here to make profits, or am I here to lose all of my money just for the sake of pleasing some few people who do not get to understand what the whole nation is all about? What about the people who are trying their best to put food on the table for their children, for their kids? They don't have anything for that because their kids, they are catered for. They have swiped enough for their kids. They have gathered enough. You see someone very arrogant on the social media, and the person is saying, I've gathered enough for the generations. What about that person who lives in Mukuru kwa Jenga? What about that person that lives in the ghettos, in Bondeni, in Kibera? We have to ask ourselves, are we constructing a nation that is full of hope? How are we going around bursting every flame of hope in the hearts of Kenyans? Talk about education. The right to education. When a person hikes the school fees, knowing very well some of our parents have to sell their prime properties so that we may have education, then you go around messing with the fee structure. It is a very big issue that we are confronting. To the eyes of many people, it might seem like we are making noises that will not count, but at the end of the day, they will account not just for the money, they will account for the voices that we are raising. They have to know we are learned, and we are not just learned for the sake of just keeping ourselves busy. No, we are not a circumstantial generation. No, we are a purpose generation that is driven by its own purpose. We want to have a best future for our wives. We want to have a good future for our children. We want to make sure that our businesses are thriving, but we cannot be able to make sure all of those have come to pass when every other aspect of an effective system is being abused by people who think they are more than the population of Kenya. No, you don't get to shut down accountability. The minute you get to shut down the accountability, you are telling us forthright, I am not accountable. If a person embraces accountability, welcomes the idea of accountability on the table, but a person who is an antagonist towards accountability, that's a person you get to know that they are not accountable right from the word go. How do you parade your kids at the expense of other kids, at the expense of the money that people have struggled? Some people are struggling here. Cobblers are struggling. We have people who are struggling to carry the goods. And then they are struggling to, then you come and tell us that out of every 100 bob that you guys are paying, out of every 100 bob we are earning, 70 goes to the taxes. What kind of an economy is this? That by earning 100 bob, 70 bob is going to tax. That means what? Okay, we have no problem paying with tax, but our issue is, our taxes reflecting the purpose by which we are paying the taxes. If it's not applying by any nature, then we have no business paying the 70 bob. We have no business paying the 70 bob because there is no reason for me to benefit some 30,000 people at the expense of the rest of the nation. We have places that have never seen a tarmac road. We have places that are struggling. They are living, imagine a whole population within a certain set of an area, whereby a dispensary is operating for 4,000 people. 4,000 people, and some areas don't even have the dispensary. They have to walk kilometers to go to for a dispensary, not a hospital, a dispensary, let alone a pharmacy. If the hospitals that we are going, we are calling them governmental hospital, public hospitals, they don't have medicine. How then do you expect remote areas to have pharmacies? We have to come to ask ourselves. We need to know how much do we allocate for pharmacies? How much do we allocate for medicine? How much do we allocate for the specialists that's supposed to treat the people? We don't have a shortage of. We don't have a shortage. We don't have a shortage on the people that are supposed to treat the people. We have doctors that are joining in. We have doctors that are even struggling to make an internship because some people have decided we will not be people the way you want. You people, you don't know much. But you know what? We know what is right. We are not going to be schooled on what is right. We know our people are ailing. We know the Kenyan people, the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha are ailing. And there is need for doctors in a hospital. We cannot have a hospital or a single doctor operating over 500 people within a day. A single doctor. Is it that we can't have doctors that we can have 10 people being treated by one doctor? And it's not, we don't have an issue to deal with money. It's because some people have decided to be greedy. They must amass for generations. And my question is, do we need to have people that will serve a few people? And with that much said, thank you very much for the space, KOT, Cyprian, and Ayo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your time. You raised very amazing questions that that are worth looking, thinking deeply about. I want to go to Mchina, then Paul Yule Mkul, alafu tuenda kwa the global walking, and then we get to hear from the new speakers. Speak to us, Paul. Speak to us, Mchina first. Mchina, then Paul. Mchina. Mchina, are you there? Okay, you dropped.
Mchina, yeah.
Paul, go ahead.
Hello. Okay, can you hear me?
100%.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm saying this. The regime the government of Ruto is taking is all of a sudden yani wanataka kutukandamiza sisi kama Gen Z, alafu hatupasi kuaccept hiyo. Saa vile walisema hawa watu wa journalists wasiingie kwa maandamano, hiyo ni kumaanisha wako na hidden yani retreat yenye wanataka kutumia to those who will be there. But let's not give up, tutokeni kwa wingi, alafu tukuwe na umoja ndio kila kitu. Kama let's say kama tumeenda, usikubali mzee wako aende kando, tunakaa pamoja, then tunakuwa na umoja. I think nataka kufika hapo. Thank you.
Thank you. Santi for keeping it short and brief. Mna draw peace space kama kitu ingine global walking. Talk to us. Global, your mic is on, but you can't hear you. Are you speaking? All right. Lily Kamau, can you hear me? Good morning.
Hey, can you hear me?
100%. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just felt compelled to speak after, I think 2 speakers ago, there was someone who was talking about Dubai and how things work. And let me tell you, I'm currently in Dubai, and my God, like things really work. So I've been very passionate about this movement because like I came here and it was such a culture shock. Like for instance, in one of the cases I had to get similar to a good conduct. I was renewing my work visa, so I needed a good conduct certificate. I paid. I went on the link, did everything, filled all the info, paid. It was delivered in less than 24 hours. And this is just one, but one example. And specifically, obviously, they here the leadership is a kingdom, so it's not exactly democratic. But the one thing I'll say, it's they're so passionate about their people. They're passionate about women empowerment, like ministries. If you go like Ata, there's no need for women reps, do a third gender rule. Like they completely empower. Like very strong ministries are led by women, and there's like so much commitment how they take care of their people. I just kept saying, oh my God, what if Kenya was like this? Like, how happy would we be? So, I mean, on my part, as someone in diaspora, I'm amplifying as much as I can on X, contributing on Mchanga, and just like trying to do my part to support from away. I don't think they allow demonstrations here. I had they arrest or deport people. So to Kopale digital activism. I also I'm in WhatsApp groups. Like I'm very passionate about this because even when I'm here, I'm literally counting my days. I'm like, I cannot wait to get enough, cash to save, to invest, to go back home. For me, that is the end goal, and that's why I feel this so strongly. So when I see all the issues that are happening, I'm just, it's crazy. I'm like, I have to use my voice however I can, because at the end of the day, my heart belongs to Kenya, east or west, home is best. And it's just so beautiful when you're just home and you're doing well. Like that's the dream. You don't even need to go outside, and even when you're outside, you're longing. You're just counting the days, the hours till you can get back home. So I don't know. I'll pose a question to all of you. Like, what else do you think people in diaspora can do to support the cause further? And I can rally in my own way, maybe via WhatsApp, just for people to keep making sure that we keep heading in the right direction. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. So, for every next speaker, think about what the diasporians can do to support us back home to ensure that we finish this course successfully. I'm not going to front any ideas. That is upon you guys to think about. And whenever you're given the mic to speak, amongst your points, please just ensure that try and ensure to fix that as an answer in your submission. I'm going next to JN. JN, how are you doing? JN Ndunge, are you there?
Hi, good morning.
Morning to you. Talk to us.
Okay. Now, my name is Ndunge, and I think this is my first time speaking on this. But I'm a lawyer by profession. I'm not trying to front it there as anything, but I just want to address like 3 points of something that has occurred to me in the recent past, of the things that since the movement started. Just 2 issues generally, but I'm going to expound on them. Issue number one, I don't know, from my observation from this whole thing, I have been on the streets. I have been in the forefront, not necessarily forefront, trying to get some protesters removed from the holding cells, and it's not been a very easy task for us. And then sometimes I was asking people, okay, my colleagues, sometimes we feel like we are towing a very thin line of approval from Gen Z. And I want to put it out there. We are not all Gen Z. Some of us in as much as we feel like we have the power, like we've done all this whole thing and gotten some of the things that we asked for. But then now they are regrouping. They're regrouping and now they are against us. In as much as we are in power, they have the power at the top. And we need that power at the top. Hmm? And that is the thing now. And okay, I want to say this. We need to lay off the people that jump off the wagon. In our journey. It's a freaking movement. Watu watachoka nguvu. That's my one point. Let's go back to the political class, the grouping. It's more of a psychological thing than anything else. As much as we have the power in the movement, we do not have the power at the top, and despite what we think, we need some of those people. We need some of those people to fight our fight. We need to actually learn how to live to Alpha. Is fighting for the same thing that we are fighting today. And we may pretend that we are not, but the influence of the number that those people has is a very is a very strong point. Is a very strong point. No need of it because it's already embossed in other statutes. So I do not feel there was need to produce another one. But there's nothing wrong with it. It still forbids the political class from participating in government tenders and what have you. So we need to read some of these things without bila condemning people. Saa zingine mkishinda mkicondemn watu wanachoka. And this is now where being a lawyer comes in. As a lawyer, I feel like we've been fighting for our lives since this whole thing began. I personally gas, don't put tear gas, and then they the mutilation of chapter 4, which is the Bill of Rights. And every time ukikanga hivi atinamuka najiita lawyer, then I ask myself, I cannot even fight back. I cannot fight back using the law, and it feels frustrating. So every time, like kama, you remember that time, Faith, kama sahi, everyone is saying, oh, LSK, kama jana. Magistrate walikuwa funeral service ya majanja. Very senior judge. We've all, and for some reason, I feel like there was some delay of proceedings and people got frustrated. How my lawyers were happy. We also forget that we are human and we have things that are happening in our lives besides this whole thing. But at the end of the day, when tukimalism, we are running. We are running to come and make sure that people awalali kwa cell tena. Hatutaki watu walale. So every time a small move tunafanya tu hivi, tunakuwa attacked. Do you know how frustrating that is? We need to lay off people. We need to remember that we are in this together. We're in this together. Saa zingine nashikika vitu zinanifanyikia huko. I cannot start telling you that I have personal issues going on in my life. We need to stop attacking people and just remember at the end of the day, we are in this together. We are also fighting for our careers. I am fighting for my life, my career, and I also want us to win. We need to extend grace. So, bottom line, and also something someone said yesterday, on Tuesday, the reason why they were feeling like they are being attacked in town is because people hawakutokelezea, and when the numbers are huge, they cannot just like fight you all off. So mko to groups to watu watano hivi kumi, it is easy. That's why someone here just said we need to have a way of planning this thing, meeting in one place and proceed as a huge group. It's easier. It's easier to beat these people. So extend grace to each other. Let us start thinking about putting in some kind of leadership structure. I'm not appointing anyone. I'm just saying, start looking into it. Third, let us start listening. And it is much. Kalonzo is our guy, and Kalonzo is Kamba. I'm Kamba, and I've never liked the kind of a person that he is. I feel like he's such a weak leader. But one thing that I've come to realize during this whole thing, he's a listener, and he's read the room, and he's listening. So zingine, let's take what we can get. Listen to these people. We don't have to go with them anywhere, but we can use whatever they are willing to offer at that particular time. Let's not bury our heads in the sand. Watu wa diaspora mmesema mnataka kusaidia. Right now, digital activism is the best that you can do, and financial support whenever you're called upon to do. Because hapa tuko kwa ground and we are trying, like something zingine unaenda kutoa watu, hakuna pesa ya kubail watu, and we need the money. LSK has a paybill number, which is highlighted on their website, on their page, Twitter handle. Look at it, tuma pesa hapo, so that we are able to get these people out. That's all I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jayan. So I'm going to go next to Jayan. Can you mute your mic? Okay. I'm gonna go next to Nyamato. Nyamato, how are you?
Yes, I'm very fine. How are you, sir?
We are perfect. Please give us your sentiments.
First, I just say hi to all the panelists who are here and the listeners and the speakers, co-hosts, and everybody who is listening. First, I want to say viva for our movement to continue. We are not going to tire, nor we're going to faint. Still, we will work on and we will soldier on. I have three things that I want to say on today's Maandamano, also by Uhuru. But I want to to send my condolences to our patriots, gallant soldiers that who have departed through being gunned down by the mercenaries colleagues who are called the Kenyans police that were being superintended and supervised by Mr. William Samoei Ruto. It is painful to lose this kind of our people, our young people, our future leaders who have come out clearly to give out the atrocities, the injustice, the corruption, the tribalism, nepotism that it is being driven within the government system and apparatus. I want to say this that we are in our time. I know times have gone from 1963 during our independence, during 2010 with our new democracy that came to the constitution. We appreciate what has been done from those past times. This current hour, it is us. Let us not cheat anybody. Let us stand firm. Let us focus. Let us not even retreat. Let us keep on the journey. Still, we have seen the shore. We're going to cross. The bridge is being constructed right now. I know it will be tired for some of us because I have seen a lot of us. They have fainted on the way. They have retreated. They have dropped. Yeah, I can equate the journey of the Israelites from Egypt to Canaan. They did not reach all of them. But those who conquered it, they stood firm and they said, yes, we will reach there and we will give the testimonies. Let us now pull together, hold hands to everybody who is on board so that we thrive together on this journey. Our constitution is stating very clear. Article 37, it is our sovereign to protect us during picketing, demonstrating, and when we are presenting the petitions. And our petition is loud and clear. We don't have any of this where we are taking. It is loud and clear. That is our meeting. That is where our assemblies are online during picketing. The voice is being heard loud and clear, not only in our country, Kenya, even those who purport by saying that they stand with Kenya. Next thing I want to say, this the acting inspector of police, that who is purporting to mislead the citizens by reading, I don't know whether it is the old constitution is reading currently, by saying that we cannot picket. It is our mandate that we need to picket at any time we feel that we are being agitating for a certain provision to be done correctly. We are not supposed to seek any permission from anybody. In fact, once we have said that we are on to picket, the police IG comes automatic. I think we have talked about the constitution for the past times, and we have been read by the constitutional lawyers that who have said clearly the police comes in because they have had the call to come and protect property and the lives. Although they are not doing the same, it is against what they are doing, or opposite. But for us, we will just soldier on. We will go and proclaim our dignity as a country, because we cannot continue to die every time and again. Every 10 years, every 5 years, we die and we forget. No. In fact, today morning, I had a Wiris, Lawyer Wiris, he was in Daybreak Citizen. He said that even if what they have said as their own team of lawyers, they're going to pursue this issue of murder, judicial killing, till to the end. We see that we're going to get the justice to our departed foreign soldiers of democracy. Secondly, I want to talk about this forming of the cabinet. You know, this gentleman called Mr. Ruto is taking us for granted. I do remember during his campaign, he said Kenya is sort of fools. Fools have gone out of Kenya. We are remaining the genius people, clever. So he forgets that now we are not clever, we become fools and terminate his cabinet abruptly. Yes, it was our grammar that let the cabinet go because they have displayed occurrence. They don't want to listen to people. They don't want to do what is mandated for them to give as they are ratifying some bills to come or proposals to parliament so that it can act as a laws and the bills. And we said, let them go home, all of them. He did a good thing, he sent them home. But still, he has audacity that is coming back to reappoint some of them. What I'm calling my people, let us resist. As Miguna said, let us resist. There is no anybody who was chased from the cabinet will be reinstated back. Because if you remember the words that he used, he has terminated them. In fact, when you follow the procedures and the laws of HR, once you are being terminated or a dismissal from any organization, from any job, there is no any provision that allows you to be recalled back. There is no any clause that gives you to be called back because you are not fit for that office. That is how it is. So I know people like Duare, people like Murukomen Kindiki, and some, I think, like this is ready for runs. Maybe they're going to be called back or being reappointed again. That is what I'm having. My conscience tells me such. Let us resist them. Let us. That is the day we will call a mammoth demo. Now we draw from all the counties. We tell people to Nairobi so that now we have the mammoth, the mother of demos, to tell Ruto now it is the end of your tenure in the office. Now quit with the appointment you are making so that we can be able to go for the new election within the year. Lastly, I want to say this. Yes, we are on this journey together. I know there are those people who may came to listen and not to have that power of acting. Kindly don't give people negative energy or attitudes in this platform or elsewhere. We need people that who have the positive energy, positive vibes that can lead us to our destination. Still, we are not on our boat. We don't need anybody to take a hammer and a nail to start making holes on the belly of the boat so that water can seep in to sink the boat. We need, even if we being raped individually or in few numbers, let us pull together till the end. I know today it is Hurubak. The guy gave some thread through the letter that I saw. They put online from inspector of police that we are not organized. We don't have read us in those kind of demos that they are being infiltrated by goons. Why can't they synchronize these goons they are talking about? That is the responsibility of them. Ours, we know ourselves. We have our coordinates that we can use to identify ourselves. Why can't they arrest these goons because they know them? Who told them that they are goons? It is them who came up with the goons because they know them. In some areas we saw them, they are protected. Some, they are having patterns, wooden patterns. They are working with the police. So we wonder, who are these goons we are talking about? Why we have never seen they have been killed by bullets? Those goons, they are killing innocent people. Members, I want to say this. 51 people have died. Let us stand together. Let us call this government to know that now Kenya, where we have reached, the constitution says nobody has a mandate to kill, to shed the blood of any Kenyan. Let us stand together. Let us now proclaim our liberty. Let us now democracy prevail. Leave about this, we call democracy that it is not there. Let us now bring the new democracy whereby everybody is accountable. If the police shoots and we see the police, let us go for that police. Even if, I'm sorry to say this, we are peaceful, yes. But now, where it has reached, for example, I saw they were arresting one guy, I think it is Kitengera. Once they realized they are arresting this guy, our team, they took stones and they fell to them. The guy was released and left. And that is what we want to do. Now we need to protect ourselves. If they wanted to take the bullet to shoot us and kill, us also will now take the responsibility of protecting us. You kill one of us will kill you also. Because that's where we are going. Not to keep on watching, seeing our comrades being shot down. But let us restrain, let us demonstrate discipline. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nyamato. Thank you so much, Nyamato. Kimte Jerry.
Yes, I'm here.
Is your mic hot? Talk to us.
How are you guys? Thank you for the platform, KOT and Cyprian. I'll just quickly go into it. First, I want to pass my sincere condolences to all the patriots and all the guys who've lost their lives, and even to their families. We just pray for consolation for them. I also want to commend you guys, you as patriots, coming up and taking the platform to listen again and strategize and know what to do next is just an honor to be part of this. So I'll start by something that everyone has been discussing about, the strategy on how we are going to move. Somebody mentioned about sitting on the roads just to ensure that we pass our statements, because already we can see the guys are ready to shoot, they're ready to kill us just to protect the political elites. So that is one of the avenues I felt that would work. There are many people who cannot get to the CBD. So nilikuwa naona watu wakaweza within their jurisdiction, like how guys in Juja closed the road. That would work very well. So that also, we also need these police guys to get out of the CBD. If we are able to pull them out of the city and make sure that also we can allow people to come in, it would make a statement and it would allow even more people to come in. I know one of the things that our president fears a lot is accountability. Majority of the things we've raised, including him being accountable for what he's borrowed and what he's ready to account for, I don't think they are ready to do it. They will go at all costs to make sure that they don't explain how our resources were used. And that is why they've chosen the hard way, which is killing the citizens. So it is a matter of us strategizing even better and knowing how we are going to go around them. I believe we have great minds amongst ourselves. Hawatatushinda ujanja, tunaweza fikiria, and I know also we have collaborators amongst us. Even in the colonial systems, we used to have collaborators. So, but at the point where we fought for independence and got it, we were able to overpower them. And at this point, I believe even as we proceed on, we are going to fight the goons. We are going to fight even those who are planning to collaborate with the system. And above it all, I know we'll prevail. It is just a matter of us borrowing on and sharing strategies as we are doing right now. There are people who are close to the CBD, and those are the best positioned to penetrate in. If we talk, I listened to one guy who proposed paying for buses, but even if we pay for transport for people to come in, they are blocking them at some points. So we should at most think about how a guy is going to come in, and who are the closest people who can even walk in crowds to get into CBD. And the rest of the people who are bad to get in, they also protest wherever they are. Because we should focus on uniting every front at every point that we are going to be heard. If they see unity amongst us, and that's something else I also wanted to raise, as much as we have our differences amongst us, let's be wise enough to see on how we can deliberate and deal with them. Let's not show a disunited front. With the moment we start attacking each other, even on the X space, we lose a lot. But every single time we show a united front, it's a win for us, because they'll know we are speaking one mind. Every single time they see that we are at a win, and already I believe we are somewhere. Sahi wase wameshtuka. Hata hapa hivi kwa hii space najua kuna watu wanasikiza, waende wakatuseme huko, na hiyo haitatudeter from forging on. Wasikize, waende waseme, and we still forge on. People have died for this cause. There are 40 people, and it's 40 plus. There are some even who we don't know. There are people who are missing. And right now, IPOA is saying they are not being allowed by the police even to find out what is happening behind. So we cannot lose this front. Every single time we have to be united. And I think that's the that's the best thing that will put these guys down. Unity. Just ensuring that in every county, we saw it in Kilifi, the Mandamano that was so successful, we saw it in every part of this country. So the more we promote unity amongst us, the more we win. I just pray that we continue with the same spirit, and I believe, I can't wait to see when we win at the end of the road. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Want to go to my next speaker. And guys, if you had already spoken, please don't request the mic, because I'm trying to get fresh speakers every time I bring the speakers up. Eric.
Yes, hello, good morning. I hope you guys can get me.
We can get you, but please just take 4 minutes. Do not extend kindly. Just take 4 minutes. Don't speak for too long. 4 minutes, please.
Okay, so thank you. So let me dive in. My first point is as to why I'm protesting. I want to make it about me, not about any other person. One of the reasons why I'm protesting is because of the poor governance that we have in this country. We need to reset the governments that we have in this country. And when I wake up and say Ruto must go, I don't necessarily mean Ruto the person, William Samoei Ruto. I mean the establishment, from the presidency to the judiciary to the parliament, the way things have been done all along. If I get to a mat right now, at some point, there's a policeman who will stop that matatu and ask for 100 shillings tip. I need that to stop. That's what I mean when I say Ruto must go. So I wish these guys can get this message out there to their superiors that when we say Ruto must go, we mean a restructure and a resetting of the governance of this country. Thank you. Number two, I wish you could now start moving to a structured way of demos. I don't mean we are not structures, and I don't mean that we have leaders, but we need to have our activities coordinated. There are coordinators that have arisen out of the need. Like now we have the spaces. We have people who are doing the spaces. They are doing it every day. That is their space. They have found a niche there. We need someone to take care of the welfare. We had Anifa rising up to do collections for those who were shot in hospitals, those who died. So that's a coordinator in that particular area. So we also need to move to who coordinates people in the ground. I'm not talking about leaders. Let not someone misquote me. And also we need to start drafting memorandums. This is what we want, but in a structured way. We have a lot of lawyers on this space. We have a lot of lawyers in this movement, and they can give us guidance, because there are things that we need. When you talk about governance, we are talking about the constitution working as it should be. The institutions are doing their constitutional mandates, but we have some things that are beyond the constitution. And I want to push for us to have a referendum, a citizen-led referendum, especially the BBI that fell, that was fallen by the courts. One thing it gave us is an insight on how a citizen can start a referendum. We need a referendum on a lot of things that we need to be put in the constitution, so that for them to change them, they need to amend the constitution. Things like now, the ceiling on salaries, we need to restructure the number of representatives that we have, from the county assemblies to parliament to the Senate, how a lot of things basically. Lastly, I want to speak about Occupy Uhuru Park. We can make Uhuru Park our Tahrir Square. And one thing that Uhuru Park gives us is that it takes us away from the destruction they have been trying to put on us. There's no supermarket to loot around there. We are not interfering with anyone's space. We go to Uhuru Park, we stay there, we demonstrate there every day until someone hears us, until someone listens to us. So no one is going to say that we're trying to cause fracas to anyone, we're trying to interfere to someone is right who doesn't want to participate in the demonstration. And this we can also be able to bring Mananchi on board. We had the doctors when they went to the Ministry of Health. We had people taking food there, they were taking blankets there, they were taking water there. So we can have people gathered at Uhuru Park 24/7. Mwananchi bringing food, Mwananchi bringing blankets, Mwananchi bringing water, people bringing the portable toilets, and everything that can be able to support that movement. And last but not least, I'll say this: kindly let us all find a niche in the movement. If your place is the media, please focus on that. If your place is blogging, do that and do it perfectly in support of the movement. But each one of us has something that they can offer to the movement. Thank you. I believe I'm done with my submission. Thank you.
Are you there? Ama you have dropped?
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm here. Sorry. I'm gonna pick the next speaker. That was Eric. I think I'll go to Radak, then Bluesman. Radak, are you there? Radak is not there. Bluesman.
Thank you so much. Good morning. So thank you so much for this opportunity. First of all, I want to say Ruto must go, and condolences to the families of those guys who lost their lives. Sina mengi sana. At first, nataka kutouch on to try as much as possible ku-educate wase about hawa wase wenye wanaamini kuna politician fulani mzuri. A good example is Raila. If as much like tunaweza point out the moments zenye Raila amekuwa so selfish, tunaweza at least avoid ile like unapata politician fulani amedivide wase amefanya like venye tulikuwa tushaanza kuback down cause tunamfuata. Like you remember hata hii division ilikuwa hapo kati ya sijui alikuwa Gashagwa na kina Moses Kuria. Okay, hiyo ilishapita, but it's an aspect yenye ni muhimu sana yenye ina distract wase. So basically kuna wase bado wanaamini a certain politician ni mzuri, maybe anawawish mazuri, but if we keep on every day tuna point out manzi politicians wako selfish, so that tusikwe distracted na wase wenye wana believe ni wazuri, at least tukifind some points za kuwa convince, hii itakuwa a plus for us. And then kitu ingine unapata maybe wase wanasema ati the fight is over. Kama Cairo nimesikia mara mingi sana akisema ati finance bill ilianguka, so tunafaa to back down, wamesack sijui au CS, so tunafaa tutulie, but tunafaa at least tuna point out those very corrupt leaders. Like kama any scandal yenye imekuwa, tuna speak out every day like as a demand of the day. Okay, like kila siku tunaonekana yenyewe tuko na demands mingi, hatuko general sana. Like every day tunasema fulani wa fulani, pesa fulani, can you arrest him? Ama hapo chini Ruto must go. Like ndo tuonekane yenyewe tuko na more points, ati atuleti anaki peke yake. And then the very most important point yenye nimekuwa nayo for the longest time, sijaipata hadi chance ya kuisema, but kitu yenye inaweza fanya tukue very successful ni wake up early in the morning, yani maandamano ikianza mapema. Like that's the main key factor ya success, because I always feel like ile siku yenye wase waliweza kuingianga parliament, kama wangekuwa wameingia parliament saa 4 asubuhi, bro, either tungeoccupy parliament like wase wajae huko na wasurround, ama tungeenda state house hiyo siku unstoppable. Lakini shida unapata wase wanakuwa wengi maybe kitu saa 10, and then ama saa 9 saa 10 hapo, and then kuna ile advice mnapewa of which it makes sense, like ikifika maybe usiku demonstrators mnaweza shutiwa nini, of which it's kind of true, but kama hata saa 4 tuseme mse yako home, saa hii mimi nikiwa mtaani nione saa hii ni saa 2 na already hii Uhuru Park imejaa wase, like nitakuwa motivated in the next 30 minutes mimi niingie pale ni wajoin. So unaweza pata like the moment kama kuna siku inawezekana ati saa 3 CBD kukue kuna kaa totally different, yani kumejaa wase, hiyo siku it will attract hata msee anaweza toka hadi mbali kabisa apande gari akuje Nairobi because anaona yenyewe now we have the victory. So kuna hizi posters zinatoka, unapata poster inasema maybe tuna occupy place fulani, sijui what we are carrying, be peaceful nini. Okay, try to insist on mapema. Kama I remember wakati kuna time Ruto alikuwa church fulani huko Mwambili alikam huko from sijui Mombasa, so Ruto alikuwa church, I don't remember the name, and then walikuwa wametoa poster wamesema let's meet up at saa 6. Nao unashangaa saa 6 bwana, and then ongezea wasee time nyingine watajiongeza hapo wafike late, so unapata yes masses zilifika, but zilifika time Ruto alikuwa anatoka, but kama angefika saa 2, ai bro, ile chaos ingekuwa huko ingekuwa moto sana. So thank you so much. Yeah, that was my whatever, my time. Thank you so much.
Sawa Bluesman. It is 10:49. I think that's 10 minutes to top of the hour. 11 a.m. East African time. Thank you so much, guys, for just coming up and giving your sentiments and also keeping time. Plantif by Ken, you've been keeping on coming up and dropping. I think it will be only fair if I give you the chance to speak before you drop again, because probably you have network issues. Can you hear me? Plant fit. Kin Arab Sugal, are you there? If you're not there, we'll go to Shokes.
Hi.
Oh, you're there. Go ahead, please.
Hi,
4 minutes.
everyone. I hope everyone is well. My name is Keen. I've never talked on this space or any other one, but okay. My suggestion is that we fast as a nation. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we should all put God first, because it's only God who can undo Ruto or undo whatever is happening in Kenya. And fasting and praying. My suggestion would be from 7 tonight or any other night from 7 to 7 a.m. in the morning. You basically just fast throughout the night without eating from 7 to 7 a.m. in the morning. And like Jacob Juma said, I think in 2015, he mentioned once that the Kenyan youth are drawn into drinking, sex and other things. So we are children of God. We should never forget that. And we should never forget that it's God who gave Ruto the approval to be president. It's not, even if it's us who voted on the ground, God approved it first. If you know the Bible, you'll understand that concept. So we can also ask God to take him out on our behalf. And I know many people don't go to the church or don't read the Bible, but I can suggest we start there, because this is more of a spiritual battle than flesh to blood. So that's my suggestion. And to the person who said we wake up early and demonstrate early in the morning, that's better, because with that we can be more effective and more arranged, or we can plan, but the earlier bird get the worm. So yeah, that's my remarks. Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone. Thank you for this opportunity also.
Thank you. Shokes.
Ayo, I have a question. Ayo. Ayo, before Shokes goes, the lady said that God approved Ruto to be the president. I didn't get it, so I want her to explain that kindly. To explain to me like I'm a 2-year baby, kindly. Just explain. You can give her 1 minute to explain to me because I don't understand, kindly. Please.
So what I meant by hi. Hello?
Tunakusikia, anakusikia. Just go ahead.
Okay, so it's God's sovereignty means he allows certain events to happen for reasons beyond our understanding. When William Ruto won the election, it was under God's approval. This does not amplify that God endorses every action or choices made by leaders. Rather, it can be understood that Satan, who has a role as the accuser, might present cases against us to God. the churches already are involved in in politics according to the Bible. If you've read the Bible, because I've read the Bible, especially the New Testament, all of it. I'm trying to read the Old Testament, but according to the New Testament, there is nowhere that allows churches and the government to be together, or for them to work together the way we've seen it in Kenya. So first of all, that is number one, we are breaking that rule. Secondly, of course, we know the commandments also. So everything that the Satan has against us, that is why I said, let me read this quote from a Bible verse so that you can understand. It's more of a spiritual battle than flesh and blood. Yes, and I'm saying this, and I was on the road. I live in Nanyuki, so I went to demonstrate those 2 times that we demonstrated in this town. But it's more spiritual than flesh and blood. And I'm not saying that what the police are doing, it's not acceptable. They are human beings. They have family. They have mothers. They have sisters. They're killing their neighbors. You see, so we are also even breaking the 2 main commandments of God that surpasses the rest of the 10 commandments are love your God with all your heart and love your neighbor. So when a police shoots someone, he definitely does not love his neighbor.
Plant Fit, can you hear me? I wasn't supposed to request this mic today, but I want to tell you this. The more wicked people in the society hide behind the church. And the church has been a backup channel for all these things. Ayo, I hope you can hear me, Ayo.
Yeah, mi nakusikia, endeleeni tu. Nakusikia vizuri
I
sana.
was saying the church is the most useless organization in this country and the most wicked people in this country. Look at the likes of, I'll give you one trip, who says ni God but is a wash guy. Cairo does wash. And that is things I have evidence. But atakuja hapa atuambia ni God manze. Ruto killed people, banned people in a church in the 2007-2008 post-election violence. He went to the ICC. He killed the witnesses.
So
then he went to the church. No, let me just finish, because I want to explain to you. You see, people who hide behind the church, they do the most evil. Go to Catholic church. A person kills in the morning, goes to Catholic, kneels down, says, Siji Salam Maria, umejaa mema, Bwana yu nawe, goes, eats the sacrament, drinks wine, then goes back to kill the next day. When people were killed in Kenya, Catholic churches came out and they gave statement, including Bishop Anyono, who I have interacted with. Mi nimelelewa Catholic, who have interacted with the Bishop Anyono. Then, after things got cool, they were called to State House. They were given brown envelopes. They came back and condemned the youth. They said the youth are killing this country. And that has been the cause.
But that...
Yeah, listen. I'm just explaining to you. If you come to tell me that Ruto was chosen by God, and the other day we were on a space and a lady explained, I can't remember her name, the same space you were with Wanjigi Juzi, a lady explained how the 2022 elections were rigged and how Ruto became president, then we are not fit to come and say here, Ruto rigged the election. Ruto has killed to be the president. And if I want to tell you Ruto, he was a spanner boy for Uhuru, for Moi. But when Moi was leaving that seat, he chose Uhuru as his successor. He was a spanner boy for Uhuru. When Uhuru was leaving office, he chose who? Uhuru chose, how do you call him? Raila. Can I tell you why Ruto is the president? Ruto is the president because
He has good PR, he has good communication, and he can play with human psychology. He's a good strategist who knows what to say and where to say it. He knows, if I went this place and manipulated these people, they are going to give me the votes. And he came up with a narrative, and this narrative is what made them president and deputy president in 2013, when they came up with Vijana na Wazee initiative. The Vijana na Wazee initiative imewafanya yeye na Uhuru president against Raila. And 2017, they came up with the Turaku Kumira Kumira narrative, which made them president. They came up with Hustler in 2022, which is something that was meant divide and rule. These people will come and neglect this cause because when we say hustlers, Kenyans tend to hate people who have a lot of money, and how they came up with that narrative is by putting in that watu wametuibia pesa since independence, since 1960s they have been stealing money. And those Kenyans who hate Raila and who hate Uhuru because they believe Uhuru is a thief and they have been stealing, hated these people and went out to vote for Ruto. But the difference was not much, because these are two forces that have united two major communities in Kenya, the Kikuyus and the Luos and part of Luya. He went to Luya and bought Musalia Mudavadi, who is a just stupid, spoiled kid who has been in government, who knows nothing. Mudavadi was a minister at the age of 22. So I'll tell you this, if you come here and bring that narrative, you're God. Personally, I believe there is God. But one thing I believe in this country, the most wicked people go to church. Look how many churches have been, people go there and put harambes. Ruto
Can you
lied
give
to
me a
Kenyans.
second? Can you give me a second to explain this?
I'm winding up.
No, let
I'm
him
winding
land
up.
first, please.
Ruto went to church recently. Just recently. After he had told all Kenyans, any public servant shall not participate in harambes. His first place to lie was in church, where he went to church and said, "Munitumie check nitamaliza hii mambo," which means he preaches water and goes to drink wine. As a people of the Republic of Kenya, we should get rid of these churches and come up with a policy that allows pastors in this country to have degrees in theology. Give an example where I live. We have more than 50 churches just across. PCA, sijui PEFA, SEK, Catholic, sijui ingine inaitwa Madukani, PCA Madukani, whatever. And what makes this church? They come to steal for us. They have become avenues of money laundering. If an MP goes to church and gives out 20 million to those people, and we see like that is not evil, and we want to say Ruto was chosen by God, me, I'm just here, I'm saying, Ruto rigged the election, Ruto has not been chosen by God, and Ruto is not fit to lead this country. Let us all agree sometimes, and I'll tell you this, as much as we read the Bible, we've done theory, there are now certain aspects we should know. I work as a strategist, and I work as a PR person. And what I do, I tarnish names for other companies for my company to thrive. I come up with campaigns that will outweigh other companies in the industry for my company to succeed. And Ruto has done that. There's one thing that I was explaining yesterday in a board meeting, and I told them, Imandamano imenifunza that you always need bloggers that you'll always pay to go and tarnish the name of a good cause. Ruto managed to do that well, paid bloggers, and they have been out here tarnishing the name and trying to drag this movement into mud. So if we say the church, let us try and look what strategies have been deployed for Ruto to be the president since 2013 to date. What strategies have been put in place? What PR has taken place? Go look what came up. The HNIB, Hashla Nation Intelligence, CG Informal or Intelligence what? That is what made Ruto the president. Because they used to come up with false lies. They had to abduct Itumbi themselves. They had to abduct Itumbi to bring a narrative for the public to believe that the government of Uhuru abducted Itumbi so that they could get information, which was lies. So if we come to bring a narrative of the church, let us bring difference. Personally, I said all these churches in Kenya should be scrapped. And if anybody has to be a pastor or what, they should have a degree in theology like Kagame did. As much as he's a dictator, he's leading his country to do away with these stupid things that are happening there. I think mi nimeranti ya kutosha. If it's a narrative ya Ruto kukuwa president, look at the strategy wise and not church wise. Kindly, he is a good strategist. And if I'll say this, just a minute, just a second. How recently Ruto ametanish aje ametumanage aje sisi during this maandamano? Look at the times Ruto has been putting out his press briefings. Just minutes, hours before tuende out streets. Juzi they managed. The DCI came out with a report about the murderer wa Kware, which divided people into two. Watu walikuwa undecided. And you know umejua ni watu wagani wana consume media? The media, where they are using this press, they are our parents, they are the old people who are consuming this information. And when they are consuming this information, they know a parent can get through a child's heart. My mother will tell me, usiende niwe peke yako ndo mtoto wangu. So that is the strategy he used successfully, using the media against the people, using press briefings against the people, and that divided us into two. There are people who are saying finance bill ilikuwa drop. That is a strategy. He did not drop it willingly, and he admitted it in front of TV when he said he has to cut down budgets and leave what, which he did not drop it with a good heart. A good president drops it and could have said, personally, we feel sorry for the people of Kenya. We had to do this. We have dropped this finance bill, and we've decided to come up with more good measures that will raise funds so that will run this government during this financial year. But he doesn't have to come and say people will have to regret. CG, this was wrong. This finance bill was to do what? Kindly, if you are trying to defend William Ruto with the church, I have said the church is the arbitrator of all evils. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, no one say that I'm defending Ruto. And second of all, the Bible itself has no fault. It's the humans who make mistakes. While our money and resources may have been squandered, the teachings of the Bibles and the teachings of the Bible are not to be blamed for human actions. Ruto and his whole team, including you and your company, you are humans. You make mistakes. The Bible is not a human being. Those are God's words. And that is what I'm using. And when I say that God approved for William Ruto to be the president, he did. Whether it's Satan who went there and appealed to God and went there and petitioned and said this and this about Kenyans, he did it. That is why he's there. Second, thirdly,
who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the Bible, Plant? Who wrote the Bible? Kindly answer me. Who wrote the Bible?
Humans.
Yeah, if it was wrote by human beings, it means they are not teachings by God. We have to agree all. We have a supreme God.
Really? You just said you believe in God, meaning you believe in the Bible, meaning you believe in Jesus Christ.
So I want to tell you.
Can you give me a space to talk?
Yeah, I want to ask you one question. Out of the 10,000 gods in this world, which one do you worship?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. 10,000 gods in this world.
That is what I'm saying. Jesus Christ.
We all have to agree. We have all to believe there is one supreme being that we all believe in. But we shouldn't come here and say the teachings of the Bible. The Bible was written by human beings. Let us all agree that. I believe
so
there is a supreme God.
I believe say my point
I believe there is a supreme being. I pray to that supreme being.
Then
Indians believe in a cow.
Being.
Will you go and say this because they believe in a cow? They were
Wewe. This is not a unique contest, tafadhali, eh? Furthermore, I don't want this issue of Christianity being brought here. And we also have Muslims who are also Kenyans. So what are you trying to say? Are those Muslims not, they also have their own God. And come on, guys, this thing's not about religion. This issue of trying to force religion on people and oh God is supreme. Come on. The enemy is Ruto. Allah, wake up, guys. Stucky back and forth.
So Ayo, just to wind up, I'll tell people this. There's somebody who said in the comment section, in this world we have 10,000 gods and everybody believes in whatever they believe in. Indians worship God, a cow. CG Hindus do what? And that is a narrative. That is something that has happened. We should all sit down and say, religion has failed humanity. And if it has failed humanity, it has been a backup to all this evil happening in this country at the moment. Personally, I'll say this, and I've said it very, very many times. I believe there is a supreme being that we all worship, that we all pray, that we all go to when we have a problem, that we all vent and say when something is not right, that we all believe they are going to bless us. There is that person. And if there is that person, we shouldn't be dragging that person where there is evil. If something is evil, it is evil. If today I made a mistake, I will not say that I was backed by the church because I'm a Christian. It is either we say things the way they are, black and white, rather than coming to sit down here and start, we are not leaking us. Say things the way they are, black and white. I read my Bible as much as it was written by human beings. I read it. I pray. I sit down and believe there is a supreme being, and I'm not against religion. I'm against churches that have been here trying to support a regime that is killing innocent people. And that is something that should be said out here each and every time we move out. Let us not be among people who will start supporting these churches and let evil continue happening. Churches have become avenues of money laundering, bribe, among other things. Corruption starts in the church. So it's upon us to come out and call a spade and not a big spoon. We as Kenyans are suffering. And I'll tell you, we are against bad governance, recycling of leaders, opulence, corruption, tribalism, nepotism. Those are some of the things you are against. You want to tell me is God who tells Rigathi Gachagua to go to church to say Mrima? Saying Mrima is a being tribalistic. And we will sit here, we will sit down and say mtu wetu makachiet. Are we the ones who will say mtu wetu na watu wamebebewa mishale Eldoret and Kericho, they want to be killed because these people were paid. And when we come out, these people go out to church on Sunday, they say we were chosen by God. This is not a religion that was chosen by God. There is something Pauline Njoroge asked. Which church, which denomination does Ruto belong to? Uhuru is a Catholic. And we all saw that bishop that used to come and preside all of his events. Which church does Ruto belong to? Which leader, which pastor can we call right now? Which priest can we call right now and talk to your boy? He's misleading the country. Uhuru, they could call that bishop and he could listen and go and tell Uhuru, hapo wa Kenya wamekata. And he will come back and sit down and talk sense. So it's upon us to start calling churches out and stop telling people here that the regime was chosen by God. There is no regime that was chosen by God. What makes you there, as much as it is God who presides over everything, it is strategy. We should just say William Ruto is a good strategist and he managed having a good strategy. Anyway, I wind up. There is one supreme God, and if I've spoken bad, may he forgive me. Thank you.
Where Shege, unasikia maneno kwa hii space? But me, what I want to say, ni venye mi sipendi kuargue na watu, lakini when people bring me that nonsense of sijui a leader is chosen by God, yet those leaders, same leaders are killing us, then I'm like, so God sent that leader to kill us? Because the lady said, and for the record, I did not drop her, please. She dropped herself. For the record, I did not drop her. I've been approving and exiting people on this space as soon as they're done speaking, but she dropped herself, just for the record. So, in nonsense here, I feel whenever people bring up church issues on politics, I feel that's some sort of narcissism and gaslighting, to be honest. But oh well. Let me go to Angela. You've been waiting for so long. Shege, just a moment. Just hold on right there. I know when to bring you in. Angela, I'll bring you in. Shocks. Oh, no, it was supposed to be Shocks, then Angela. Sorry, then Roslyn. So Shocks, Angela, Roslyn, then Shege. In that order. Shocks, please. Go ahead. Forgive me for kukuskip.
Sawa, nimekusamehea. So, mnanisikia?
100%, endelea.
Sawa. Wase wameanza hapo kubishana. First I will thank KOT kuhost this space. Everyone akona a role to play. Na of late nimekuwa kwa almost all spaces from maandamano ianze. Na of late wase wamekuwa ki-complain. Kuna biasness kwa kuchoose wase wanatoka kwa hizi space. So thank KOT, at least tunapea kila msee chance na mraise hizo issues juu kuna wase wengine wako abducted, wengine wajulikani wako wapi, lakini juu ni msee ana ma followers tunamwachilia tu hivyo and everyone anahitajika. So to amplify hiyo story ya kumarginalize wase wengine. So first sikuwa niongelee hiyo story ya church. I think we Kenyans we have to look back and reflect juu sasa wote anything ina happen tunatafuta someone to blame, sijui church, sijui nani, and the biggest problem is ourselves, unaona. So first thing tukianzia kwa Ruto, even if aliiba ama kuiba hizo kura or whatever, unaona, first thing constitution inasema mse yote amepatikana na any graft case afai kuwa akiwa anywhere around kura nini public whatever, lakini sisi wenyewe tu hiyo time ndio tulikuwa tunafaa kuamka, we start complaining mazee Ruto should not be, unaona, jua kona already a graft case, lakini sisi wote tuliingia kwa sympathy sijui wacha sijui nani. Ruto was accused stories za ICC man, he was accused that he had killed some people, of which hiyo story ilidropiwa. And all the others wenye wako kwa hiyo gava, all the people, most of them wako na graft cases, unaona, lakini tuligo tu sisi wenyewe tuka-approve wa run kwa hizi offices, then after all tunakuja tuna complain. Ni mic yangu ama ni nani?
Ni mic yako mzae. Yeah, ni mic yako.
Yeah. Also, after all, after
Please, if you come in here, please just mute your mic. Ukikuja hapa, please mute your mic if you're not speaking. Shocks.
sawa, niko clear saizi. So nasema mazee, let's not blame anyone. Let's not put the blame on anyone. We are the ones na already kuna wase washaanza kuamka, unaona, na we need to recruit wengine tuwalete to take the blame on our shoulders. We say now hii si tulijiletea and we have the responsibility to make it right. This is the time. And we should go back to us, we should go back to history to us,
Shocks, mic yako haiwezi. Oh God.
Okay, sawa.
6. 6. Is it my mic or
Yes,
whose?
Ayo.
Mic yangu ndio mbaya. Keutini drop.
Lakini kuna msiaga mute. Msi mwingine akiongea hivi kuna msiaga mute.
Keutini drop unirudishe.
Ayo mic yako ni chafu.
As
But I think
see mic yayo. Ebu shocks
I
mute
think
your mic because ni mic ya shocks. Because that mic yake iko on.
Bado kuna echo.
Bado
Zee,
kuna
iko poa.
echo. Ni kama
I
Ayo
think
hawezi
ni stress.
kujimute. Ayo unaweza kujimute?
Yeah.
Are you able to mute yourself, Ayo?
Cheki. KOT drop.
Tumekuwa tukicompromisewa. Even mine is sounding funny, yeah?
Roslyn, ebu try your mic. Try to say something so that we can get if there's any feedback.
Hear me.